Have you ever felt like there's a secret club about getting older, and no one gave you the membership manual? We see the beautiful, silver-haired folks in commercials, laughing over tea, eternally vibrant, and while there's certainly joy and wisdom in these years, there are also whispers, quiet anxieties, and realities that no one seems to want to talk about openly. It's as if admitting them would somehow dim the sparkle of later life. But what if embracing these less than glamorous aspects is actually the key to living with more peace, more power, and more genuine happiness than you ever thought possible? We're often told to focus on the positives, and rightly so. But sometimes, avoiding the tougher conversations leaves us feeling unprepared, even isolated, when we inevitably face them. We bottle up our concerns, thinking we're the only ones navigating these uncharted waters. But you're not alone, not by a long shot. In this video, we're going to bravely pull back the curtain on 5 harsh truths about getting older that most people shy away from discussing. These aren't meant to frighten you, but to empower you, to give you the foresight and tools to meet these challenges head-on. By understanding them, you can transform them into opportunities for deeper growth and a richer life. And make sure you watch until the very end, because I'll share something truly surprising that can completely shift your perspective on what these later years can truly be. Now that we've glimpsed the landscape of what's to come, let's step directly into the first of these 5 truths, one that often catches us off guard, because it touches something so fundamental: our physical selves. The first harsh truth about getting older is this: your body will start to betray you in unexpected, often frustrating ways. Now, I'm not just talking about a few more wrinkles or a bit of gray hair. Those are the gentle whispers of time. I'm talking about the sudden, inexplicable aches that appear out of nowhere. The persistent fatigue that a good night's sleep just doesn't seem to cure anymore. Or the recovery time from a simple strain that now feels like an eternity. Remember when you could just jump out of bed, tie your shoelaces without thinking, or lift that heavy bag of groceries without a second thought? For many of us, those carefree days gradually recede into memory. You might find yourself reaching for things on a high shelf and realizing your shoulder just doesn't have the same range of motion it once did. Or perhaps a short walk you used to breeze through now leaves your knees protesting. It's not just about the big, dramatic health issues, though those certainly can arise. It's often the subtle, day-to-day changes that wear us down, making us feel less capable, less independent, and sometimes a little bit invisible to ourselves. This can be truly painful because our bodies are so intrinsically linked to our sense of self, our freedom, and our ability to engage with the world. We feel a disconnect, a sense of loss for the physical strength and resilience we once took for granted. The frustration comes from feeling like your own body is no longer on your side, that it's letting you down. You might find yourself saying things like, "I used to be able to do that," or "My back never used to bother me." It's a natural human response to mourn the capabilities we once had. So, what do we do with this truth first? It's about acceptance, not surrender. It's acknowledging that change is inevitable, but decline is not. We can't stop the hands of time, but we can profoundly influence how we journey through it. This means listening to your body with newfound respect and compassion. Instead of pushing through pain or ignoring new signals, pay attention. Seek professional advice when needed. Whether it's for persistent pain or just a nagging feeling that something isn't quite right, incorporate gentle, consistent movement into your day. This isn't about running marathons if you never did, but about keeping your joints mobile, your muscles engaged, and your circulation flowing. Think low-impact exercises like walking, swimming, tai chi, or gentle yoga. Even a few minutes of stretching each morning can make a world of difference. Focus on nourishing your body with nutrient-dense foods, plenty of fresh vegetables, fruits, lean proteins, and healthy fats. Hydration is crucial. These aren't revolutionary ideas, but they become non-negotiable as we age. Remember, the goal isn't to turn back the clock, but to optimize the clock you have, to live as comfortably and energetically as possible within your current reality. It's about adapting, finding new ways to do things, and celebrating the strength and wisdom you do possess. It's about building a compassionate partnership with your evolving physical self. Moving on from our physical landscape, let's explore the second harsh truth, one that touches the very core of our human need for connection. Your social circles will likely shrink, and loneliness can become a silent, unwelcome companion. When we're younger, our lives often revolve around bustling social networks, work colleagues, school friends, parents from our kids' schools, busy family gatherings. As we age, these networks naturally begin to thin out. Friends may move away to be closer to grandchildren. Or sadly, they may pass on. Interests that once bound you together might diverge. Your once vibrant dinner parties might become less frequent. Your phone might ring less often. And the familiar faces you relied on might become fewer and farther between. This can lead to a profound sense of isolation, even if you have family nearby. Loneliness isn't just about being alone. It's about feeling disconnected, feeling like you don't have people who truly understand what you're going through, or that you're losing your place in the world. It's a quiet ache that many people feel ashamed to admit, believing it's a sign of weakness or a personal failing. But it's a universal human experience, and it's especially prevalent in later life. Perhaps you find yourself spending more evenings by yourself than you used to, or noticing that while family visits are wonderful, they don't always fill the void of peer companionship. The conversations shift. The shared history isn't always there with younger generations, and sometimes you just miss someone who gets it. This can be a deeply painful reality, as humans are wired for connection. The way to navigate this truth isn't to despair, but to be fiercely intentional about nurturing existing relationships and actively cultivating new ones. Quality over quantity becomes paramount. Reaching out to old friends, even just a phone call or a handwritten letter, can rekindle forgotten bonds. Think about what brings you joy and community. Do you love to read? Join a book club at your local library or community center. Are you passionate about a cause? Volunteer your time. It's an incredible way to meet like-minded individuals and regain a sense of purpose. Consider taking a class, whether it's art, pottery, or a language course. Many community centers offer senior programs, from walking groups to card games. Don't underestimate the power of digital connections either. Learning to use video calls can keep you close to distant family and friends. It takes courage to put yourself out there, especially after years of established routines. But the rewards of new friendships and renewed connections are immeasurable. It's about creating new anchors in your social life, building a supportive network that understands and cherishes you for exactly who you are right now. So, we've talked about how our bodies change and how our friendships evolve. But there are still more layers to explore in this journey of aging, aren't there? Let's move on to the third harsh truth, one that often hits us subtly but deeply. The unexpected loss of purpose can creep in, leaving you feeling adrift. For much of our lives, our identity is often closely tied to our roles, our career, raising children, caring for family members, or managing a household. These roles provide structure, goals, and a sense of contribution. When retirement arrives, or children leave home, or caregiving responsibilities lessen, that once clear purpose can suddenly feel vague or even vanish entirely. You might wake up one morning and think, what do I do now? The calendar that was once packed with meetings or school events is suddenly wide open. And while the initial freedom can be exhilarating, it can quickly turn into a void. Many people experience a form of grief for their former identity, a feeling of being less needed or less relevant. The sense of routine and the measurable impact of your work or daily efforts are gone, and finding new motivations can be surprisingly challenging. It's a silence that can be deafening after a lifetime of activity. Perhaps you spent decades in a demanding career, and now, The professional challenges and interactions are simply gone. Or you dedicated years to nurturing a family, and now they are independent adults with their own lives, and your primary role feels complete. This isn't just about boredom. It's about a deep-seated human need to feel useful, to contribute, and to have a reason to get up in the morning. The key to navigating this truth lies in redefining purpose, not losing it. This isn't about finding another job that fills your exact former role, though for some, that might be the answer. It's about consciously seeking out new avenues for contribution and growth that align with your current passions and wisdom. Have you always wanted to learn to paint, play an instrument, or write that book? Now might be the perfect time. Explore volunteering opportunities that resonate with your values, whether it's mentoring younger people, helping at a local charity, or contributing to environmental efforts, even small. Personal projects can provide immense satisfaction, like cultivating a garden, taking up knitting for charity, or delving into your family history. The goal is to cultivate a new sense of meaning, one that is driven by your own desires and wisdom rather than external expectations. It's about embracing the freedom to choose what truly invigorates you, to discover new facets of yourself, and to share your accumulated knowledge and experience in ways that enrich your life and the lives of others. Your purpose doesn't disappear, it simply transforms, waiting for you to uncover its new form. Let's gently turn our attention to the fourth harsh truth, one that can feel particularly isolating in a rapidly changing world. You may, at times, feel invisible to younger generations. This isn't a deliberate slight, often, but a consequence of cultural shifts and the sheer speed of modern life. In many societies, youth is often celebrated above all else, and older voices can sometimes be inadvertently sidelined or dismissed. You might find yourself in conversations where your opinions seem to carry less weight, or you're spoken over, or even worse, spoken about as if you're not present. The world moves fast, with new technologies emerging constantly, new slang, new social norms, and sometimes it feels like you're trying to keep up with a language you don't fully understand. Think about navigating new digital landscapes, like signing up for an app or dealing with online customer service, and feeling a distinct generational gap. Or perhaps you're in a family gathering, and the conversation pivots to topics you're unfamiliar with, or you feel your wisdom is less sought after than it once was. This feeling of invisibility can be incredibly disheartening, making you feel less relevant, less connected, and sometimes a little bit obsolete. It's a painful realization that the world, in some ways, is speeding ahead, and your voice, your experience, your perspective, might not be at the forefront anymore. This isn't about being ignored out of malice, but rather the unconscious biases that exist in a youth-centric culture, where speed and novelty are often prioritized over experience and wisdom. So, how do we push back against this feeling of invisibility? It starts with continuing to engage. Stay curious about the world around you, especially new technologies and trends, even if you don't fully adopt them. Ask questions, genuinely listen, and try to understand different perspectives. Learning to use basic digital tools, like video calls or social media platforms, can bridge communication gaps with younger family members and friends. But more importantly, it's about affirming your own value and speaking up when appropriate. Your life experience is a treasure trove of wisdom that younger generations desperately need, even if they don't always realize it. Share your stories, offer your insights respectfully, and engage in intergenerational activities that allow for genuine connection. Find communities and groups where your wisdom is not just tolerated, but celebrated and actively sought out, perhaps through mentorship programs, shared hobbies, or volunteer work with organizations that value experience. It's about refusing to fade into the background, asserting your presence with grace and confidence, and remembering that your voice, your presence, and your accumulated wisdom are incredibly valuable. whether others always acknowledge it or not. Your visibility begins with your own self-worth and your willingness to step forward. Finally, let's confront the fifth harsh truth, one that becomes increasingly palpable with each passing year. Time seems to speed up, and the realization that there's less of it ahead can bring a profound sense of urgency, or even regret. Do you ever find yourself saying, "Wasn't it just Christmas?" Or, "How is it already, current year?" The days blur into weeks, weeks into months, and months into years with astonishing speed. Milestones pass at an alarming rate. And the future, which once seemed infinitely distant, now feels much closer, bringing with it a heightened awareness of mortality. This isn't about dwelling on the end, but about the unsettling feeling that your personal clock is ticking faster than ever before. It can manifest as regret for things not done, words not spoken, or experiences missed. Or it can create a frantic urgency, a pressure to cram too much into the remaining years. You might look back and wonder where the time went, feeling like certain dreams or aspirations remain unfulfilled, or that you didn't fully savor precious moments as they happened. This awareness of finite time can be a source of anxiety, a constant reminder that opportunities, once limitless, are now bounded. It's a profound shift in perspective from when you felt like you had all the time in the world. So, how do we navigate this accelerating sense of time? The answer isn't to fight it, but to truly embrace living intentionally. This means prioritizing what truly matters. Instead of getting caught up in trivialities, focus your energy on relationships, experiences, and contributions that bring you genuine joy and fulfillment. Practice mindfulness, consciously savoring the present moment, a cup of tea, a conversation with a loved one, the beauty of nature outside your window. When you are fully present, time paradoxically seems to expand, allowing you to experience life more deeply. Don't defer joy. If there are things you've always wanted to do, travel, learn a skill, reconnect with someone, make a plan and take action. It's about actively creating memories and living a life that feels authentic to you, rather than letting the days slip by. It also means making peace with the past, forgiving yourself and others, and releasing regrets. The past is unchangeable, but your relationship with it can evolve. Focus on creating a rich and meaningful present, building a legacy of experiences and connections, and understanding that every moment, no matter how brief, holds the potential for joy and profound meaning. This conscious engagement with time is not about fear, but about liberation, freeing you to live each day with purpose and appreciation. We've explored the depths of some of the most challenging realities of getting older, the unexpected ways our bodies change, the natural shrinking of our social circles, the search for new purpose after a lifetime of defined roles, the feeling of sometimes being invisible in a fast-paced world, and the undeniable acceleration of time itself. These aren't easy truths to confront, and it's precisely because they are so often unspoken that they can feel particularly heavy when we experience them ourselves. We might feel alone in our struggles, thinking we're the only ones navigating these particular currents. But as we've discussed today, these are shared human experiences, parts of the universal journey of aging. The important thing to remember is that acknowledging these truths is not about dwelling in negativity or succumbing to despair. Far from it. It's about building awareness, about shedding light on the things that typically remain in the shadows. And when we shine a light on them, something truly transformative happens. We gain power. We gain the ability to prepare, to adapt, and to approach these realities not with fear, but with wisdom, resilience, and a proactive spirit. It's about understanding the terrain so you can navigate it with greater confidence and grace. When you know your body might present new challenges, you're more likely to engage in gentle movement and listen to its signals. When you anticipate shifts in your social life, you're more motivated to reach out and cultivate new connections. When purpose shifts, You're open to redefining it. When you feel invisible, you remember your inherent worth and speak up. And when time speeds by, you learn to savor each precious moment with greater intention. Remember, my dear friends, that small shifts in our mindset and conscious actions can make an absolutely monumental difference in your health, your happiness, and your overall fulfillment as you age. It's not about grand, sweeping gestures every day. It's about the consistent, compassionate choices you make for yourself. It's about treating your body like a cherished friend, your mind like a vibrant garden, and your spirit like an endless wellspring of joy and curiosity. Embracing these so-called harsh truths actually liberates you. It frees you from the burden of unspoken expectations and allows you to live more authentically, more present, and more genuinely joyful. The surprise I promised you at the beginning, the true revelation, is this: when you bravely face these realities head-on, when you acknowledge them and adapt to them, you don't just endure getting older, you thrive. You unlock a deeper appreciation for life, a profound sense of self-acceptance, and an unparalleled wisdom that only comes from navigating the intricate landscape of a long life. These truths, far from being limitations, become the very foundation for living your richest, most meaningful life yet. They are not obstacles. They are opportunities for growth, for deeper connection, and for profound joy. I truly hope this conversation has resonated with you today, and perhaps even sparked some new insights or given you a sense of camaraderie. Your experiences and your wisdom are invaluable, and I'd love to hear from you. What resonated most with you from today's discussion? Have you encountered any of these truths in your own journey? And how have you navigated them? Please share your thoughts, your challenges, and your triumphs in the comments below. Your stories don't just add to the conversation, they build a supportive community for everyone watching. Let's learn from each other and uplift one another as we move forward. If you found value in this open and honest conversation, if it sparked something within you, please consider giving this video a thumbs up. Your likes genuinely help us reach more wonderful people like you who are seeking guidance and connection on their journey. And of course, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. That way, you won't miss our future videos, which are always designed to help you live your very best life, full of vitality, joy, and purpose. At every age and every stage. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Remember, aging is not a retreat. It is an incredible opportunity for ongoing discovery, for new beginnings, and for cultivating profound gratitude. Embrace every moment, live with intention, and truly live your best life every single day, at every age. You deserve nothing less.